So hello everyone. In the previous discussion we had understand what is the functioning of the epithelial tissues and what is actually epithelium tissues are. So in this discussion we are going to classify epithelial tissues broadly into two categories, that one is the simple epithelium and another is the compound epithelium. So let's understand both one by one. So firstly we have the simple epithelium. So when we have classified the epithelium tissues on the basis of their structures and their functioning, the first type is that simple epithelium. As the name suggests, they are simple in nature and they have only a single layer of cells. That means there is a single layer of cells are arranged in a proper sequence. As there are only a single layers, so they can perform a lining of some organs, cavities or ducts. We know that there is a function of diffusionary particles in the blood vessels. Blood vessels have to diffuse the particles which they carry to the cells. So in the blood vessel they are present, in the cavities they are present, in the ducts they are present, and in the glands they are present. Now they are also broadly divided into the four parts, but the NCERT divides them only in the three parts. That they are these parts. But these are also the types of them, so we will also understand them. So let's understand one by one. So first we have a simple squamous. We will later discuss them in detail, but let's take the overview of them. Simple squamous are the flat cells are arranged in a single layer. Generally they have irregular boundaries, that's why they are termed as the pavement epithelium, and they have a tiles-like appearance, and that's why they are also termed as the tessellated epithelium. We will discuss them later. We have then cuboidal epithelium, in which the cubes of cells with the flat cells with the centered nuclei are arranged in a sequential layer. That's why they are termed as the cuboidal cells. They are also found in the gonads, and that's why also termed as the germinal epithelium. So let's write them. Also termed as the germinal epithelium. Then we have a simple columnar cells. They are tall and slender like cells. And then pseudostratified. This cell is so amazing. This type of epithelium is so amazing. The pseudo word means false, and the stratified means multi-layer. And when we pronunciate them in a conjugate manner, then it states that they are false multi-layered. False multi-layered, that means they are not actually multi-layered, but they appears to be multi-layered. We will discuss them in later, but let's take the overview of them. There is a short cell present among the large cells. So it makes the appearance that a short cell never reaches the top. So this top cells or the long cells dominate themselves. That's why it appears like they are multicellular cells or the multi-layered cells, sorry. But they are not actually multi-layered cells. There is a singular cells are present in the forming layer. So this was about the simple epithelium. They are found in the linings of the body, cavity and ducts. Another part we have that compound epithelium. Another important point, guys, that we have classified the simple epithelium on the basis of cell structure, function and the structure and shape. Next we have the compound epithelium. Compound epithelium, as suggests, they are complex in nature. So they have a two or multi-layer of cells. They can be polyhedral cells, they can be any of the irregular cells. Now, as they are multi-layered, so their work is to protection in tough parts. Now, what is the toughest part? Our skin, which faces the most of the mechanical stresses and chemical stresses. So their work is to perform the protection work. So we can write here example the skin. This is a very important point, that we have classified these epitheliums on the basis of their structure, function and shape of the cells. Now the compound epithelium is also classified into the two ways, that is the stratified and the transitional. In the stratified, there is not a single possibility of stretching. That means stretchability is absent. But in the transitional, when they are appeared multicellular, but when we stress them, they are appears like flat. We will discuss them later. So on the basis of their structure and functions, there is also a classification happens. They are classified into the three parts. We will discuss them later, but first discuss some functions. There is a stretchability is absent. Next part is that desmosomes are present. Now what is desmosomes? So we will discuss another point, that gap junctions, before discussing these compound epithelium. But let's take the overview of them. That desmosomes are the something like that. Let's understand. Suppose there is a two cells. The both cells are different, but these cells forms a whole in which a matrix gets filled. This matrix is actually a cementing material. Another thing is that there is a tonofibrils. They are the tonofibrils. They attached on the endings of the cells to give the mechanical support to the cell. So this is something called a desmosome, that is the gap junction. We can write there, this is gap junction. Next part is that transitional epithelium or transitional compound epithelium. So they are stratified, they are multi-layered. The transitionals are also multi-layered, but when get stretched, we can say that their multi-layerity also gets disappeared. They are also behaving like the flat cells. So they are stretchable. They have an interdigitation. Now interdigitation is also a gap junction. In interdigitation, a cell develops some finger-like projections into the another cell cytoplasm. This is the another cell, and this is also another cell. So this cell develops some finger-like projection or the protoplasmic projection in the another cell. This is termed as the interdigitation. There is an absence of the basement membrane, and that is the wonderful point and the point to be remembered. So they have an absence of basement membrane. This BM is actually basement membrane. Now, the stratified squamous epithelium, stratified compound epithelium, is classified into the three ways: stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, and stratified columnar. We are going to discuss them in one by one. So this is enough for today. Till then, sign off. Happy learning. Thank you.